Hey. Hello. Ladies, gentlemen, esteemed enemies, it is a Starforged night. Hello. Okay, so was there anything I wanted to comment on beforehand? Hello, Hanadel! Good to see you here nice and early. And this stream hasn't even properly begun. I mean, it's properly begun. We're live when we're on the loading screen. It's live, but it's just so fun. It's so fun to see you here just immediately. I appreciate it. It is a Thursday evening, which is not far enough in the week as far as I am concerned. But, you know, we're getting there. How is my... Okay, everything seems good as far as I can tell on my end. We got, Zoom, zoom, zoom. Rogagon, hello! First time chat, hello, good to have you! Come join us for a Starforged night. Good to have folks around. I do have a couple updates for the evening, which is that I am most likely going to be taking a break next week so that I can prepare stuff for the spooky month, even though I kind of already got a spooky layout, quote-unquote spooky. My Ouija layout that I don't use for Starforged, because Starforged has its own neon layout. And we might... Starforged campaign itself might go on a break, and I might be doing other tabletop things for October. Either way, we'll be picking up with Starforged in November anyway, if I do put a little pause on it. My October schedule is still in flux, but I just wanted to put that out there. Also, I'm doing writing, which is what I'm probably going to spend a bit of week next week doing as well, aside from just the October schedule planning. But I want to get some nice spooky games in. That's basically where I'm going with that. And maybe some other little fun tabletop things that I can fiddle around with. Anyway, that being said, so yeah, that's pretty much it for things I wanted to comment on. We are going into session 9, actually, of Solar Flare here, which is nice. Little 9, actually 10, because we had a session 0, to a whole 10 weeks. I committed a horrible sin, which is at session 7. I think the VOD is gone. I think the VOD is gone, so I'm currently putting together a recap. I forgot to export it off Twitch. I thought I did. And I apparently didn't, so it's gone. I'm putting together a little recap video to upload onto my VOD's channel before session 8 goes up. Anyway, that horrible sin aside, it is time for tonight's session. I got my water. Diane Lux having counter some shit. Oh, I did go ahead and I updated, I made some progress on phase... hang on a second, I wanna... There we go. I made some progress on... The audio is so messed up on my end because of my headphones. Every time. Every time. I keep saying one of these days. I keep saying one of these days I may get a shorter version. I have yet to do it. Let me make a quick little sound adjustment with my headphones here. Okay, are we good? Yeah, there we go. Okay. My headphones like to freak out on me because I have them plugged in instead of doing wireless. Yes, it has been a bit. I have all these sound alerts. We need to make more use of them. I know all of Kaise's channel points are going to the totem and Cult of the Lamb. So, between sessions here, I did think to myself, and by between sessions, I mean, literally 10 minutes ago before I started streaming. I did think to myself, oh yeah, we did like this whole thing for Blackbird, where he was like, hey, can you help me sabotage, you know, the data terminal over at the church? And we were like, okay, yeah, fine, I guess. And we did that whole thing for him. That deserves some progress on our connection with him. So I updated that. And I think that's it. As in, there's nothing else here for me to catch up on that... Is my mouse even visible? I don't actually know if my mouse shows up on OBS. It's so tiny on my preview screen. But anyway, so recaps then. Let's begin a session. Because I keep forgetting that there's actually like dedicated moves for this now. Main important factor being the recap. So last time, oh, where do we even begin with this? So last time, Faye and Lux, having completed their whole sabotage objective, had to ditch the planet of Serenity and were making their way out of the Ebon Sector. No. The Accursed Zenith. This is the Ebon Maze. I didn't even get the name right. Made a stop in this little weird settlement of Argosy where they got dragged into a situation. And by dragged into a situation, I mean it became apparent while they were here that there was sort of a social divide between some of the people in the settlement, and that social divide being the mundane people and shades, because the settlement had a few shades, similar to Blackbird. Blackbird has not made it known that he is a shade, but you know. It became apparent that also the Argosy is built on a sort of derelict fleet ship, and half of it is being eaten by Hell Dimension. Essentially, dark void energy has taken over part of the ship and is spreading, with unclear reasons as to why. And apparently, the leadership of the settlement was sending shades in to investigate it because the energy seems to be of the same type that shades use, thus making them immune to the, you know, health problems of just being in void space. Most of them didn't come back. As Faye and Blackbird learned that there is some sort of sentient darkness in the Void Land, in the void portion of the ship, that, eats people? Unclear. Anyway, Lux wanted to do something about that, so that's a little screwed up of you to be doing. And Faye kind of had to stop him from charging in there. This isn't even like a vow or anything. Faye is just trying to stop Blackbird from being an idiot and charging into this on their own. So they found the darkness, they attacked the darkness, they burned the darkness, made their way into a room that the darkness seemed to be blocking off, where they found more concentrated form of that sentient darkness, seemingly forming a spherical barrier around something giving off bright light. The Tari, solidified sentient darkness in question seemed to be, well, I don't even know if sentient is, the right word, but it sure is alive. And it seemed to have been conjured from a spell based on runes and the like, carved into the room that this was found in, which Faye actually recognized, because sooner or later, the dice reminded me I have to give him some credit in that he actually knows some things. And, the point being that the sentient darkness, or the alive darkness that was making up the barrier, seems to have been made from a spell that would require living human sacrifices. It was people all along. Not great. That does raise the question of whether or not anything can be done about this, because the spell seems to be what is, causing the leakage of void energy, through reality into the ship. Not great. I seem to be frozen also. Where did I go? Oh, there we go. I'm unfrozen. Don't worry about that. So that seemed to be what's causing the leakage of void energy into the ship, so that kind of needs to be stopped. Not so sure Faye or Blackbird are all that good at, you know, dispelling a horrible, corrupt spell. They certainly burned the vestiges of it that were hanging out in the hallway, but this seems to be a whole different matter altogether. So that puts us there at that question of what to do with this. Okay, so on that note, I think when I get, all players take +1 momentum as you return to play from the viewpoint of your characters. Okay. One of these days we'll get a little bit more experience so that I can do some things to play around with. Where to begin with this? Because it's not a good look. Here's the thing about the spell in question that is sealing away whatever that is. A spell made from runes carved into, like, the floor and stuff and the wall. That doesn't just happen accidentally. Someone made this. Someone made this. On purpose. Not even a clue what that thing is inside of the sphere of darkness that is giving off light inside of it through, like, the little cracks that show through every now and then as it swirls around. So, does that put Lux and Faye in a position where they want to try and do something about this right here and now? Do we want to confront the leadership on this vessel about what the hell is going on? Because somebody has to know. You had to have had somebody here on the ship who is capable of doing this. Did they get eaten by their own spell? What's going on here? Or alternatively, our original plan was to go back to Sigil and check in on our good ol' Soulbinder buddies, Phantom and Yelena. I wanted to call them Phantom Binders. No, Phantom's name is just Phantom. Well, call sign anyway. They kind of seem like they might be good experts on this. If anything, like, Faye knows a bit about magic enough to recognize what this is. Dispelling it is another thing entirely. Is Blackbird? I don't think Blackbird deals in this kind of magic. He's an assassin, first and foremost. He knows about utilizing his shade powers for the purposes of killing people well. And infiltrating places and maybe doing some thievery for the benefit of the church that he no longer... Blackbird never really cared about the church. He was just raised by them and didn't have anything better to be doing, let's be honest. So... really my debate is, do we confront the leadership here and now, because this environment of the void energy does seem to be spreading, and that is kind of a time-sensitive issue, or do we focus on touching base with Phantom and Yelena if they're still alive and here in Sigil, or, you know, and maybe bringing them back here to see what the hell they can do about that. Daisy, hello! Welcome! Kinda, I guess it might be worth having a chat with the leadership first. I don't think I don't think Lux is gonna want to leave without discussing that. So, let's go ahead and talk with the Argosy's leadership about... Yeah, I think the Argosy was actually just, like, the fleet ship's name, so the settlement is just named after that. I'm gonna call you the Argosy, can I? You are the Argosy now. You're a ship. There we go. Okay, so we are gonna go have a chat with the Argosy's leadership, first and foremost, because Lux isn't gonna want to leave without a chat about that. So, this place isn't big. We have a population of few. I think I said like 20 or 30-ish last session. So, let's be real, it's not like getting in to see whoever's leading this place is hard. I want to use the term mayor. I don't feel like that's a very... more like, I think chief. Like, I feel like there was a chief or a fleet captain, like a ship captain. Yeah, I think captain? Would that be... Yeah. I think there would have been like a ship captain in charge of this particular ship, and that kind of... It's been a couple generations since people kind of settled down in the Forge, as best as you can settle in this place. But I think the whole captain title kind of just got passed down to whoever was the leader of the place, like, over the couple of generations. So So we're gonna go talk to the captain of the Argosy. Essentially, this place is kind of a ship, it's just not going anywhere. And has smaller starships docked on it for travel when need be. So, anyway, yeah, I don't think getting a meeting with the captain is all that difficult. Especially if Lux is gonna try and barge in there. But, like, let's be real. There is not, there's not a lot of guards, to be super worried about. And I mean, like, even if there's like 5 or 6 shades here, that's a decent chunk of the population that are not on the side of the captain. Okay, so, are we gonna call that kind of a gather information, or are we gonna call that, is this more of a compel to get a good conversation of, hey, what's going on? Did you have, like, a... Zame, hello! Welcome! We will have a full house in here by the end of things. Speaking of... There we go. I'm also kind of trying to keep an eye on my stream, timing. To keep in mind ads. As best as I can do, like, there's not, I don't know if there's, like, a solid breakpoint or anything with this kind of a stream setup, but I'm getting into the habit for that. Now, where was I? Yes, I was logicking whether to do compel or gather information. I think, first and foremost, let's roll up some details about the captain, shall we? Who we got? We got a... Oh, dice need a minute. A concealed. Oh. A concealed individual, huh? You got... I kind of like the idea of them wearing, like, a mask, but, like, kind of like a masquerade kind of mask. Made of gold. Yeah, I like the idea of that for... Maybe it's just because of a scar, right? Maybe the captain just got, like, a big scar going down the side of one side of the face, and so wears sort of like a masquerade sort of thing over their face on account of that. Phantom of the Opera style, I guess you could call it, except for the fact that that was like a mask on one side of the face and the masquerade thing is across the top. I'm thinking like an old gruff man for the captain, whose name you go, but I think that you're known by your actual name here on, oh, Evelyn. Evelyn Salvi. Salvi. Really wants a name to be Evelyn. You know, I mean, you can have whatever name you want regardless of gender, but Evelyn does make me think more than of an older gruff woman instead. Which, yeah, let's go for it then. Old gruff lady, captain, horribly scarred up one side of her face, wears a big ol' mask. Wears a, like, masquerade golden ball mask type of thing on her face to partly cover that up. Definitely has a nice... Admiral, what's the... He got a nice coat. Wears a suit. Not really as much need for, like, captain's uniform since it's been a couple generations of living on a ship, and she is mostly just leadership for the, settlement now, organizing things, managing, resources and all that. So, Evelyn Salvi, who I might as well make a character sheet for you while I am at it. Edit. Evelyn Salvi. And whatever... I don't know if we're gonna be getting a connection with her at any point, but I'm kind of getting at least a formidable vibe if we do by any chance. Oh. That's bold. As I immediately, do bold again. I can't type. I'm gonna put scarred there. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put in those details for now. Do I have any fun little icons I can use for you? I don't really have any icons for Argosy, do I? Yeah, it's fine. You're just like a person. Anyway, Faye and Blackbird are gonna have a nice little chat with Evelyn over here. Isn't Evelyn? I'm getting Resident Evil 7 flashbacks. That's why I was remembering that name. Anyway, let's have a little chat with her about the topic of, hey. So there is a very horrible, So first of all, also, you've just been sending shades kind of sort of to their potential death to figure out what's going on down there. Very professional of you. Second, yeah, there's a horrible dark magic, spell going on that's definitely causing this. Do you know anything about that? Is that more of a compel, or is that a... Compel is... I think this is more of a gather information, right? Because I actually want to know if I'm getting useful information here. Or is it a compel? Because is she even going to tell us information in the first place? Because she may not take kindly to a couple of strangers coming in and butting in on this business. Especially since they may have the option to approach this persuasively, but I don't think he's that good with being tactful, and Lux is not happy about the current situation, so they're basically opening this conversation up with, hey, why are you sending people to their potential death? Which is maybe not the best conversation starter. So I think there is the question of, is she even going to entertain this conversation? So let's go with that. Charm, pacify, encourage, or barter, threaten, or incite with iron. I don't know if threaten outright is the, appropriate term, but there is definitely some aggression in this conversation that's being had here. Ooh, an opportunity. They'll do what you want or greedier conditions. Take +1 momentum. Interesting. So is she basically just like, yeah, listen. I don't care what you think. Just get the problem fixed because the ship that we live on is literally being taken over by toxic void energy. I feel like things are bad if they've gotten to the point where that's what her stance is. Or maybe maybe it's not even that things are bad so much as she honestly doesn't care. She just considers Shades to be total freaks, and she doesn't care that she's been sending them in there to do the scouting without any professional training or safety guidelines or anything. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the vibe. Which is great. So, at the very least, though, she is open to telling what she knows about it. There's no need to keep it secret, seeing as how she clearly gives no shits about the well-being of the people. And, well, the well-being of the Shades. The rest of the people, yeah, sure, we need somewhere to live. Those weirdo freaks who have powers from the god Void, who cares about them? I kind of get the feeling that Void is maybe not a well-liked deity among the Triumvirate, or at least people have iffier stances on Void. Anyway, from there I think it is going to be a gather information role. Where is my... Aha! Also... Okay, so let's go ahead, gather information. I don't think I get any actual bonuses, but we are at +6 momentum. That's nice. Okay, weak hit. Information provides new insight, but also complicates your quest. Envision what you discover, then take +1 momentum. Okay, I'm down for that. Take +1 momentum. What about a story clue? Because we're basically trying to figure out any information on where that spell came from and what can we do about it. Involves a non-human being or creature. Well, I mean, yeah, I kind of got that idea. So I feel like that's a little bit relevant to the radiant energy coming from within the sphere of darkness, the barrier. of tarry inky blackness. So are we saying that that thing is a creature that has for some reason been sealed away? Or came from a creature? Is it dangerous? Like, I think that's the question here, right? Is what is that stuff? So let's roll on some oracles to get some ideas here. Do. I don't know why I'm rolling on character creation for that. Core, that's what I want. I want the actions and themes. Escort? Religion? Hmm. Curious on the export part. Escort. Curious on the escort part, but religion definitely seems potentially relevant. I mean, probably very relevant. If it's radiant energy, it's probably to do with Stellus. Maybe. Possibly. Um, that being said, can I roll a descriptor and a focus? Contested equipment. Contested equipment. Oh, okay, so what if, um, whatever that is they have in there, it was something that was of immense value to them. Um, maybe some sort of artifact or something with divine power, possibly, and they wanted to protect it. And that effort to protect it went very badly. Huh. Someone with shade powers tried to take it into their own hands. Or the settlement themselves. Okay, yeah, okay, so I think what is going on here is that thing, whatever it is, which I'll see if I can figure out the details on that in a moment. Whatever it is something of great value and importance, and a particular shade on the ship who had great knowledge and skill over their powers as well as magic. They acquired it, and they wanted to keep it for themselves, keep it safe, keep it secret, keep it secret, keep it safe. So they attempted to create this barrier as a means to keep it for themselves. Interestingly, they did so in what seems to be a very important meeting room, which implies to me that there was something going down beyond just them keeping this thing for themselves. Because, like, that was, like, a big circular room with, like, chairs and desks, like a Congress-type room, basically. So, I feel like something was going down there. Um, but I think whatever... Yeah, I think the, captain is maybe not going to disclose that. I think there was somebody who was not happy with the leadership on the Argosy, but the captain's not going to go into detail of that. Essentially, it was a shade spellcaster, so to speak, who wanted to seal this thing away for their own purposes, and the spell went horribly wrong. Maybe there was multiple shades who took part in the spell, and then this was where the whole sacrifice of people came from. Also, I imagine Evelyn doesn't know the full details. I doubt she was there to actually witness what exactly went down. But that seems to be the basics. Unfortunately, that does seem to imply that the individual that um, set this into motion in the first place is definitely dead, or at the very least not in a normal physical state anymore. Maybe they're a part of that barrier. This information is helpful. Does Evelyn want to disclose what the actual artifact in question is? Because I don't think she feels that that's relevant to tell us, right? Like, she's telling this information to Faye and Lux on the grounds that, you want to do something about it? Okay, here's what I know. I don't think she's going to disclose what that thing that's been sealed away there actually is. But let's see if I have any more info I can pull up on that. Defy. Superstition. Oh, you know what? Even more so, if it's... What if it's just straight up something that they were using to power the ship? Right? Whatever reason, these particular shades, lead spellcaster included, felt some need to basically just sabotage the entire ship by taking its power source. Um, something was going on here. There was a conflict between them and the leadership. Does Evelyn hate Shades because they did this to the ship, or did she hate Shades beforehand and it escalated into this? I feel like it's the latter. There was definitely a conflict that went down between y'all. So they were definitely using a... What do I want to call it? An energy shell? Not shell, energy cell? With celestial, like, stellar power. Yeah, that makes kind of sense, actually, because, like, phase power... I think the laser crystals that I've described are kind of similar in nature. So, yeah, it's not really so much a divine artifact. I mean, I guess you could argue that it is, but it's, like, basically a big, giant, laser energy crystal, but it was used to power their ship, and now it's stuck in there. Great. They probably have, like, some reserve backup power and stuff that they've been operating off of, but that is a problem. On top of the whole, our ship is being absorbed by the void. So Lux is still not happy with this whole situation, and the two of them could probably get more information on what went down if they talk to other folks here. But I think, at the very least, it's becoming apparent no one here is going to be capable of actually, stopping that thing. Like, stopping the spell. That is gonna have to be either, our good old Soulbinder friends are gonna need to put in some double time if they're even, up to doing that after whatever's gone down there, slash if they're alive. Or, we're going to need to find some other means to dispel that. What did we even come here for? We came here for, like, supplies. I don't think that's happening. Wait, we haven't even... Did we make a sojourn at any point when we came here? Hang on a second. Let's see. Okay, so... Do. I lost my train of thought because I clicked over to OBS for something. Right, I was checking to see if we even got a sojourn in while we were here. I think we only got the one because... Yeah, I think we did, and I said, like, that's pretty much all we're getting because the ship is being eaten by Void, and that's kind of a time-sensitive issue. I think that's where we were at, right? Yeah, we cleared the wounded condition. Yeah, that seems about right. Okay. So information has been gathered. And is this worth swearing a vow? Like, we'll be honest, like, Faye's not really... Yeah, actually, all things considered, I think this is also progress on Faye's main objective here. Because... Yeah, Faye's objective is to kind of find a place, a proper place to live that's safe for himself and other weirdos, which the Shades here definitely count as that. So I do think that this is, progress in the sense of finding more folks that we can help, and also a place that we can definitely cross off as not helpful at all. So I do think Faye is motivated to properly swear a vow for this, more to the people here than to Evelyn. Screw Evelyn. But the people here, both the Shades and the good old mundane people who really don't want to get eaten by void energy. So, first of all, West, we will swear an iron vow. Write your vow and give it a rank. That's the good question, right? Like, hypothetically, all we're doing is dispelling a magic spell. In theory. Because I'm also thinking, since this is a time-sensitive issue, I feel like a clock should really be attached to this. So let's add a vow real quick. So I feel like a clock should definitely be attached to this. 6 segments. Let me look up the PDF here so that I can kind of get an idea of what the recommendation is for clocks. 6 is kind of the default. If we do 4, that's going to be way too short to end well. Rulebook. Clocks. Okay. Gameplay in depth. Clocks. Any guidelines on how many clocks to use? I feel like 6 is probably a good number for the purposes of this. But I kind of feel like I think dangerous. I think I don't want to go so far as to make it formidable, because that would require 1, 2... Well, okay, 1, 2, 3... Well, I don't know why I'm counting. There's 10 boxes. I know that there's 10 Wait, is there? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. The lines were throwing me off. Yes, there's 10 boxes. I know this. Formidable would require 10 steps if we wanted to max out the bar, whereas dangerous would be 5. Um... You know what? I kind of want to leave a bit of room for shit to go sideways. Spell? Yeah, that looks right. So let's make it formidable, shall we? Now the question is 6 segments, because on a quest like this, how do you want me to do... Okay. When a clock advances, fill in a segment, start the clock at the 12 o'clock position, okay. There are 2 main types of clocks, campaign clocks and tension clocks. Let's see. In addition, this section includes guidelines for scene challenges. So I think a campaign clock is the kind that we're looking at here. As you undertake your sworn vows and delve the depths of the galaxy, other people, factions, and threats evolve and advance their own agendas. To depict and resolve the objectives and actions of these entities in the background of your campaign, use campaign clocks. So I think that's kind of just rolled like basically at the start of sessions. When you begin a session, make a check against any active campaign clocks. If advancing a clock is not in doubt, enough time has passed, or the pieces are in place, make it inevitable, simply fill in the next segment. Okay, so that's what we're gonna go ahead and do, is, if circumstances or time conspire to push the clock forward more rapidly, fill in 2 segments. If there are factors or forces that create uncertainty, you can ask the Oracle using the yes or no table. To make the check, ask the Oracle, does the clock advance? Okay, so yeah, basically, I think 6 is fine then. Against a troublesome, or against a formidable vow. I think 6 is fine. We're basically going to be rolling I think a 50-50 yes or no is probably fine at the start of each session to see if that advances. So we will go ahead and set that up, and then we are going to swear an iron vow to see this done. Can I organize these? Yeah, I don't like my vows and progress bars all being mixed. Okay. So let us swear an iron vow. If you swear this vow to a connection, add +1. If you share a bond, add +2. Does Lux count, considering he's kind of one of the shades that Faye is doing this for? It's technically for the people, but also kind of for Lux. I'm gonna count it. Maybe that's a bit cheaty, but I don't care. I'm gonna count it. Okay, weak hit. We could burn momentum for a strong hit if desired. You are determined, but begin your quest with more questions than answers. Take +1 momentum and envision what you do to find a path forward. On a strong hit, it is clear what you must do next. Take +2 momentum. I don't really feel like I want to burn the momentum just to turn that into a +2. Wait, just to turn that into getting a +2 momentum. Yeah. Because like the actual process of dispelling the void magic is unclear. Is that a thing soulbinders do? They kind of handle more like the undead stuff. Maybe they know about this. So with that being unclear, I think it's fine to leave that at a weak hit. But that does mean that Faye and Lux are, maybe gonna be leaving. Maybe it's time to go. Can we push for a sojourn before we leave? I kind of want to do that and potentially use the fugitive trait, maybe, if we don't get a good roll. I think I do want to, because they already also took the time to go check out the other side of the ship, which probably wouldn't have taken super long, but I do think that that is a nice little jump in scenes and opportunity for us to do another sojourn here. And it's a miss. Wow, not even low enough on any of those to beat with a, burn momentum. Community needs your help. Yeah, you do. Or you find no relief and the situation grows worse. I do want to use the fugitive asset to turn that into a strong hit. Which means that we can put that away. And we can go ahead and strong hit. This is a safe refuge for the moment. You and your allies may each choose to recover moves, because we are kind of banged up in a lot of ways. I think heal and resupply are probably our best bets right now. If I recall correctly, with heal, we can just take 3. If we're not wounded. Yeah, take 3. And then resupply. On a strong hit, choose 1. If you are unprepared, clear the impact and take +1 supply. Otherwise, take +2. Yeah, I'll take +2 supply. Because we're gonna need that for the travel. That's the other thing, is we kind of need to travel back to Sigil still. So let's go. Do. Sojourn, heal. Alright, this was all spawned from a whole expedition. But anyway, we are going back to Sigil. This is what? Dangerous, I think? Yeah, that's dangerous. So let us undertake an expedition. We could move at speed. We're not really keeping under the radar at this point. We're far enough away that I don't think there's super big concerns. Are we staying vigilant, moving at speed? I think moving at speed is a wise choice at this juncture. Eh. Let's go ahead and burn that momentum, shall we? Alright. Reset to a 2. Suffer costs en route, make a suffer move -2 or 2 suffer moves -1. Or face apparel at a waypoint. I think after that nice chunk of figuring out our current plan for things, it might be good to go ahead and do a couple of suffer moves, maybe. Because ultimately the biggest issue here is going to be supply, right? Supply, it may be momentum as we are potentially waylaid by, I don't know, like asteroid fields. I feel like that might be Yeah, I kind of like that. We're losing a bit of supply, we're losing a bit of time because of asteroid fields. What you gonna do, right? Sometimes you gotta deal with that. Oh, but that does give us progress, right? Yeah. Keep it nice and simple today. Keep it nice and simple. We could explore a waypoint as well. We divert from an expedition to examine a notable location. That's a thing that I ought to do sometime. But for now, we'll keep on the main path. We'll just roll more misses. Um, we'll just roll our third miss in a row. You were waylaid by a crisis, or arrive at a waypoint to confront an immediate hardship. Do not mark progress and pay the price. What do we got? The environment or terrain introduces a new hazard. Um, Interesting. We're just flying through space. We are just flying through space. Are we dealing with, what do I want to go with here? Creatures? Are we dealing with creatures in space? Let's go ahead and ask the Oracle. Is it alive? Or is it more like, oh, there's space storms? There was like space energy storms, right? Yeah, there was like space energy storms. It's a space energy storm. Evasive maneuvers. It's gonna be probably a face danger with Edge. Does Faye get to drive sometimes? I wonder if Faye gets to drive sometimes. Oh, does... I wonder. Hey, hang on a second. Da-da... Yeah, I realize also the fact that we've sworn a vow for the whole thing that Blackbird feels very strongly about is probably a good cause to upgrade, to develop a relationship a bit. Which is nice. That being said, I, on the topic of does Faye get to drive the ship sometimes. First of all, the word's pilot. But I feel like the answer is, Blackbird and Faye will have just like an actual kind of chill, genuine conversation for once, and Faye will be like, "Hey, by the way, can I drive?" And Lux is just like, "No, fuck off. Do not, do not touch the cockpit. You're a disaster. I've seen what you've done to your other ship." Where were we? Face danger. That being said, for all intents and purposes, it is still phase stats that make the rolls. We are getting a weak hit. Look at that. Suffer, you succeed, but not without cost. Make a -1 suffer move, which is probably gonna be, the ship getting roughed up some more. There is actually major threats to piloting a ship through the forge. But that's fine. Better the ship than us, is basically where I'm at, right? Ship is the first line of defense. If things get worse, then we're taking hits on spirit and health, and that's not good. Oh, I just thought of a nice little incident that could come up while we're on this little expedition. But let's go ahead and continue. Ooh, a weak hit. You reach a waypoint. Progress cost you. Envision the location. Mark progress per the rank of the expedition. Choose one. Face peril at the waypoint. We will mark progress. And we can go ahead and face peril. We got anything? Envision what you encounter. Where a waypoint? You... Envision what you encounter. I feel like... what do I want to go with on this one? Do I... Okay, hang on. Let's roll some oracles, shall we? Defend? Defend death? Defend death? Huh, what? Okay, so interesting. I kind of have this mental image of, 'cause I think this could just be like a kind of a little lesser encounter out here on the voyage, but Faye and Lux pass by what is, essentially the Forge's space equivalent of, is pyre the word that I want to use? Viking funeral. Stargazer web browser companion. Yes, actually. I don't remember if that's okay, the companion app. I'm trying to remember, but I have definitely used Stargazer. Stargazer and Iron Journal. I quite like them. For my purposes, I tend to bounce between a few different tools. I think Foundry and Roll20 are kind of my favorites just because of the fact that I sometimes like to have multiple characters. Um, and I like to add a lot of visual elements, tokens and pogs and stuff like that. But I do like the Stargazer app. It's very nice, as well as the Iron Journal for that matter. Do recommend. Because also they work well on like mobile. They work well on the mobile format. Um, so I'm thinking that as Faye and Lux are traversing through space, they encounter a sort of basically like a pod vessel that is, or maybe like a couple of pod vessels that are sort of like the sort of thing that certain settlements use to send their deceased out into space. Some settlements utilize these in the event that they're kind of a smaller space-based settlements where there's not a whole lot of land for like, you know, graveyards. Um, and the different areas have different opinions on what's the best thing to do with your dead. Burn them, bury them when you have land, send them out into the stars. So that's definitely a thing. Faye and Lux come across a few of these. Sometimes when you're a spacer out here in the forge, you encounter things like that. The problem is the creature that has latched onto one of the pods. Um, a sort of winged, I want to say wyvern or bird-shaped creature. No feathers, definitely just leathery skin with this kind of um, flappy, loose skin that kind of resembles a ragged robe of a sort of Grim Reaper-esque figure. Um, do I want to say beak? I want to say beak, but sort of very skull-like face, sort of like a bird skull. It's got eyes though, just deep, gaunt eyes. The creature in question, do I want a name for it? I feel like it has a name. I'll consider names later, but it's a type of creature that is known to search for bodies out in space and reanimate them. Reanimate them into you know, zombies and the like that it can use to find more prey. Basically, it feeds on the bodies, it feeds on certain internal organs, reanimates what's left, and sends it out. Drags it off to planets or settlements and sends it to go kill other people so it can get more prey. So not a good thing. Not a good thing to have around. I'm gonna shoot it. Do I need a roll for that, though? Or is this just kind of a little sightseeing thing on the way? I think that in and of itself is fine, because even if they piss it off, it's not really a match for an entire starship, small and sort of personal as the starship is. So I think they can definitely kind of just take that thing down without issue. Um, Not an ideal creature to know that there's some of these around here in this area of the sector, but you know, sometimes you run into those. I like that. I'm reminded of, the, voice manipulating thingies from Made in Abyss. I like those. I don't remember what they're called. But anyway. That's the kind of thing where I'm like, I don't know if that might count as peril, but I like it. I just like a little moment like that, so we're moving on. Keep it nice and simple. I'm having a chill time. Are we good to keep on doing an exploration, though? Yeah. Keep on doing an exploration. Keep space a little bit safer. By clearing out the, I want to call it, like, something raven. Something raven, because it's very bird-like. A big ol' skull beak. Wait, Blackbird. Oh, I've frozen. Hang on. Oh, no. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm not frozen anymore. A lot of bird stuff going on now that I think about it in my, theming. I like it. Sorry, can I roll? Well, okay, no, I rolled a weak hit last time. Oh yeah, and it was also a weak hit peril rather than a miss peril, so that's fine. Um, can I... Waylaid by a... Did I mark progress? Oh, I wanted to... I had made a mental note to myself that I actually wanted to roll the progress move after that, rather than make another undertaken expedition. Normally, I did already roll the dice. I'm sure I'm gonna get another miss on whatever I roll immediately next anyway, so I'm gonna go with what I originally planned in mind and just generally forgot. Um, I'm gonna roll to finalize our trip back to Sigil. Oh, we got a strong hit. Okay. I am sure I will definitely get a miss going on immediately. um, on like the next thing I roll to make up for not taking that miss there. Um, that being said, so we got a strong hit in arriving back in Sigil, and real quick also. Where... Okay, so, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a moment for a quick little intermission, and I guess ad break, we'll test that out. So I am gonna, step away for a couple minutes just to refill my water. I will be back in a moment. Let me pop us on an intermission, and I will, be back. Yes, good. I had to pop back in to make sure that that played properly. I don't know if it got cut off on the stream. And I kind of want to play it again just to appreciate it. It's cheating, but I'm gonna do it. Where is it? It's cheating, but I'm doing it myself too. My anger. My sorrow. Excellent. Oh, we need more Shining Figure Sword going on in this campaign again. Let us burn some things. Oh, okay, I'm gonna step away. When I come back, I might have Faye roll to meditate on some celestial power for the trip back here. I will be back. Shining Finger Sword! Okay, I'm back. I also want to get into the habit of actually checking for good opportunities for intermissions and ad breaks for non-subscribers, since I don't think it's too big of an issue for laid-back Starforged streams, but there's probably streams where I'm going to want more control over when the ads are going on for the sake of convenience. So that is a good skill to practice now. Anyway, so we got a strong hit on actually returning to Vigil. I did make a note that I wanted to potentially see about getting some more firebrand power. What is this roll? How does this roll plus the track? Okay, no, that's not what I want. So I think it's just what, wits? Or is it... Oh, roll plus spirit. Oh, your spirit's not been great. That's why I haven't really been doing that. You haven't really been getting a chance to chill. Ooh. On that note, we did... We finished a, expedition. Right? On a strong hit, you reach your destination, mark a reward on your legacy track per rank's expedition. What was it? It was dangerous. So we get 2. Right? It was dangerous. Yeah. Okay. So, we can edit and complete you. Do our little cleanup here before I get all distracted. So we do have 4 points of experience that we can spend. Do I want to do that now? Okay, well, let's go ahead and make that roll first that I wanted to for meditating for celestial power. So we can do more shining finger sword going on. It was what? Spirit? Spirit. Oof. Okay, weak hit. You know what? Weak hit could be a lot worse. On a weak hit, +2. Hey, we only get the bad effect on a total miss. Which has happened multiple times. But I will gladly take the weak hit. So, that's fine. And I'm kind of considering how I want to go about assets and experience, because I might save that for in-between sessions. Because I can spend 2 experience points to upgrade an asset, and I can buy 3 to purchase an asset, which is kind of what I wanted to be doing. Even though I haven't even begun to upgrade the assets that Faye does have. I'm enjoying them as they... We haven't gotten to use... Okay, we haven't gotten to use the Glowcat or the ship. Let alone upgrade them. Okay, let's actually get back to Sigil so we can use them first. Oh, we did get back to Sigil. We rolled a strong hit. We can get our stuff back, probably. Okay, so... If I recall correctly... Let's look at our completed... Okay, so we had... Here we go. This... Hold off the spirits until the ritual is complete. We made all of 2 progress on that. That was the progress bar, the scene challenge that we were doing to help Phantom and Yelena with the ritual to get rid of the tentacle ghosts that were plaguing Sigil. And we made all of 2 progress on that. So, that obviously didn't go well, and I kind of want to factor that into how things are going here. Do I... I'm debating. I'm kind of debating if I want to make it just like an oracle roll, or if I kind of want to roll, gather information or something. Right? Be like, hey, let's touch down. How are things going? We got a strong hit. I will take that into account, that we got a strong hit on the actual returning here. which implies good things, right? Finish an expedition on a strong hit, you reach your destination or complete your survey. Okay. Weak hit would be you face an unforeseen complication, and weak hit would be the destination is lost to you, or you come to understand the true nature or cost of the expedition. So I kind of wonder. Okay, so I am gonna. It's a strong hit. We arrived here without issue. All is well. We arrived in Sigil, and it is not lost to us. It still exists. um, I think I'm kind of just debating what role I want to make here for this. Is it gather information? The place is here, so I think the first thing that's gonna happen is Faye's hopping off the ship to go check. Hey, is Kendra still alive? Are Phantom and Yelena still alive? Where's the fall of Icarus? Where's my Glowcat pal? It's probably just been hanging out with Kendra getting food and scritches if everything hasn't gone to shit. Um, so yeah, I think just like a gather information to see what the state of things is. I think that's a good idea. Let's go with that. Did I get any? There's not really anything I got bonuses on for this. So just a nice flat +2 roll. Okay, a weak hit. The information provides a new insight, but also complicates your quest. Envision what you discover. Take +1 momentum. So I think things are more or less okay. Like Kendra's here, I think. People are not all eaten by ghosts. The cat's here, the glow cat, our buddy. Affirms a previously understood fact or clue. Interesting. Do I want to go with that? Man, that's number 1. Affirms a previously understood fact or clue. I feel like that would harken back to the whole situation of how the Silva family settled here on top of ancient precursor ruins. Did Phantom and Yelena... I just had this absolutely wild thought in which, complicates your quest. See, I had this absolutely wild thought that, like, okay, so if the Silva family are at fault for this, right? What if the ghosts, like, ate them? What if the people were like, take them? They're the ones who built over your home, and the ghosts were just like, okay, what if that's how things got resolved back here? Which doesn't necessarily complicate this particular quest. It complicates the part that we had a vow to them to see what was going on in Astra, which they were assholes, and they bullied Faye into taking on that vow anyway, but, like, it still stands that if Faye has to abandon the vow, he has to abandon the sword upon which it was sworn. Which is maybe not ideal. Just putting that out there. Maybe not ideal. But also at the same time, do I want to kill off the whole Silva family? Do I want to have fun with them? See, there's a lot of ways that this could go from here, right? I want to roll like another story clue. What do we got? Involves an organism or biological evidence. Interesting. Can I roll some oracles? Action and theme I always enjoy. Descriptor and focus are also good ones. Deflect, family. Ruined. Settlement. Um, these are all kind of relevant in potentially different ways. Don't say ruined settlement. We just got back here and we established it was fine. Ruined settlement. Okay, so my immediate thought is, either A, with a weak hit on the whole gather information, I don't think everything is totally destroyed. So either A, part of Sigil was definitely damaged, or some things went bad. Some people maybe got taken by the ghosts. Whatever they were trying to do. It could be that, yeah, Phantom and Elena managed to exercise the spirit successfully with the ritual, but there were casualties in the process. Alternatively, this could be referring to the actual ancient precursor settlement that the settlement that Sigil was built upon. Deflect family. Kind of something that I'm interested in considering here. Deflect family, ruined settlement, scripter focus. Got any extra story clues I can potentially yoink? Involves a nota. There's something going on with the Silva family. Something happened to them. Did they, like, actually just get taken by the ghosts? Is that actually where we're going with this? And also, was it all of them, or is there, like, a member of the family remaining? Kind of what I wonder. God, my brain just keeps going back to the fact that the Silva family got. How many of them even were there? You guys. Faye did not have good opinions on them. Interesting. I kind of wonder. Yeah, okay. I feel like. I guess I'm going with that. I feel like the like I'm kind of debating on, did the ritual at the very least like finish up, and did that do anything, or were the village people just like take him and go away? It's starting to sound like that's what it was. It's starting to sound like the Silva family just got taken by the ghosts as a sacrifice to make this all stop. Yeah, I think the ritual didn't go all that well because Phantom and Elena, after Faye got by Blackbird. It's Blackbird's fault. What timing you had. After Faye got, Phantom and Elena had to shift focus from completing the ritual in time to defending themselves. And a bunch of ghosts flooded Sigil in the process, and the entire town was just like, take the people who actually built on your settlement, okay? Just take them. And the spirits were satisfied with that. Silva family is gone. Silva family got taken by ghosts. Yeah, we're going with that first instinct, which also raises the, yeah, that does complicate the what's going on in Astra Quest, because we could still do it, right? Can we? Does it count if Goodbye, Silva family. Faye didn't like you. Does it count as completing the quest if we go and do the thing and report it to their graves? I don't think they have bodies to be buried in a grave. It legitimately does raise the question, right? What to do with this whole vow here. Forsake your vow. When you renounce your quest, betray your promise, or the goal is lost to you, clear the vow. Then envision the impact of this failure and choose one or more as appropriate to the nature of the vow. Any allies who share this vow may also envision a cost. You are demoralized or dispirited. which is more due to the fact that per Faye's teachings, he has to surrender the sword in question that the vow was sworn upon, with the sword having come from a mentor of his. And also the he didn't intend for the Silva family to fucking die. That's a whole different level of what his thoughts were on them. Test your relationship when you next when you next interact, huh? About that. You must abandon a path or resource. Discard an asset. Someone else pays the price. Envision how a person, being, or community bears the cost of the failure. Oh boy. Someone else takes advantage. Envision how an enemy gains power or your reputation suffers. I don't think reputation is a concern. Connection loses faith is definitely not applicable. Demoralized is an option. Someone else pays a price or someone else takes advantage. Interesting. Because technically speaking, we could still check out what's going on with Astra. Is Faye... Because the reason the Silva family... Actually, it might still be worth following through on this. The reason the Silva family wanted Faye to see what's going on with Astra is because their workers and the people of Astra have previously had disputes over a field, over an asteroid field that is between their two settlements and is a generally good mining resource for minerals of note. And there's been disputes and conflicts between the two sides about it, and as of recently, Astra has sent, I guess, diplomats, essentially, to basically say, hey, how about peace? How about peace now? And, you know, compromise and, you know, chill. How about no more fighting, suddenly? And the Silva family kind of wanted to get an idea of, is there a reason they've suddenly said this, or are they just, you know, being genuine in that offer of pacifism and peace over this? And it could be worth checking out for the sake of Sigil. Because technically speaking, the Silva family were one of the founding families and the big shots in general of the settlement, and had sway and monetary power over a lot of the businesses. I say a lot, I don't think there's that many, but still had sway over the businesses in Sigil. And so that's gonna shift power dynamics. And that raises questions about the whole mineral mining and what's going on there. Yeah, it might be good, actually, still, for Faye to go to Astra and check that out. So I think that saves him from having to forsake the vow. It's just that he's not reporting back to the Silva family. If anything, he can report back to the Coastlands. He's in better standing with Kendra. Astra still seems like a weird place, but given the circumstances and what Sigil's just been through with the ghost situation, Faye's a little bit more open to checking that out. R.I.P. the entire Silva family, who were just offered up to ghosts. R.I.P. Can I... This look like a good color? Yeah. There we go. Perfect. Okay. The entire Silva family is deceased. Oops. Okay, well, Sigil's gonna have to sort that out a little bit in the meantime and figure out what's going on with their economy. Um, alright. Okay, so from there, where does that leave us? Chatting with you. Dying. It leaves us chatting with Yelena and Phantom. How are they doing? They're probably a bit wounded, but I mean, I think they're fine. There's definitely been plenty of time that passed since that whole incident, so I think they're pretty well recovered. Um, it kind of raises the question of if they're even still here. Are they? That's a good question. You guys, were you doing a thing before this? I don't remember if they were doing a thing before all of this. I don't think they were. I think they were handling the doppelgangers, and they agreed to help Yelena with Sigil afterwards. How long have you been gone, Faye? Not honestly super long. Um, but it's been more than a few days, I think. At the same time, Yelena and Phantom probably had some recuperation and supplies and stuff of their own to handle. I think it's fairly reasonable that they're still here anyway. Um, alright, alright. Okay, so with that in mind, cool. So let's go ahead and have a chat with them. Let's get our ship back. Okay. Okay, first of all, we now have the Fall of Icarus back. Thank you. Was that so hard? This was your fault, Lux. Second, Low Cat Buddy is here. He's just been chilling. Just been chilling this whole time. And, Kendra's hanging out. Okay, cool. We're good. Let's have a chat. Let's sit down and talk about this. There's a darkness sphere. Is that something that you guys can handle? I think that's gather information. I think is a good place to start on that. What you got? Also, how you doing? Maybe we should it develops a relationship. We came back to check on you. Does that count as anything? Leveraging their help in desperate circumstances. I mean, there is that. Giving them something of worth, sharing a profound moment, standing with them against hardship, overcoming a test of your relationship. Leveraging their help in desperate circumstances. I feel like that's a good. That counts for Phantom here. Yelena still did not give a shit when we were hanging out with her. She didn't like us. She's still kind of wary of Faye. I think her and Phantom were both a little bit on guard, actually, with Faye's powers. Um, but Phantom was at least a little bit more open-minded on that, but still a little bit weird. What's their deal with the firebrands? Yelena don't like it. But let's go ahead to the whole gather information thing. What do we got? Where'd my dice go? There we go. Okay. Okay, we got a weak hit. We got a weak hit. Very good. Let me also check a thing real quick here on the side. Um, okay. Back to as we were. So we got a week hit on gather information to know, hey, you guys know anything about... Does getting back here to actually touch base with Phantom and Yelena count on... I think that counts. Do they know anything helpful about dispelling a horrible void magic spell that people sacrifice themselves for? I think they know that it's a powerful spell, and that, that's the kind of thing that is kinda not so easily just gotten rid of when it sounds like 3 or 4 people were eaten by it to empower it, whether intentionally or not. That's definitely what happened. Information provides new insight, but also complicates your quest. Envision what you discover, then take +1 momentum. Anything good from story clues? Because we definitely know that it's powerful, and probably they themselves can't handle that directly. There's gonna need to be something... Where'd my story clue go? Oh no. Did my table freeze? No, it didn't. Okay, story clue? Oh. You don't want to roll story clues now? What about this one? What if we just roll an extra story? Oh no! Okay, that was very delayed, and I was expecting multiple. Evokes a vision or prophecy? Evokes a vision or prophecy? I like that. Can we use that? That's interesting. I'm gonna roll a bunch of things. Persevere. Hour. Unnatural mechanism. A vision or prophecy? Why do I feel like... Because this ultimately started as what sounds like a conflict for a power source between corrupt leadership and shades who had been treated not very well. But it seems that escalated and tapped into powers of the void and the god void in ways that are far too strong for anyone's well-being and have spiraled out of control. Persevere power. Oh. Okay, so also on top of the fact that there was the whole Tari blackness and everything, and its surrounding the sort of celestial power source that was being used for the ship, and multiple people were sacrificed to it. And then also there was vestigial darkness in the hallways that were eating people. I feel like Yelena and Phantom are aware that from the description of this, whatever they meant to do, whatever the shades who did this meant to do, it called upon something from the void, and they basically set up a little summoning situation there. Like, the idea that's in my head right now is basically what they try to do is call upon a spell. They were using a spell that called upon the powers of something across the void. And maybe the spell really was just meant to be some sort of barrier spell, and it went horribly wrong because this thing interfered. Or one of them was spoken to by the thing. Definitely not sure what exactly happened that went wrong, but the end result seems to be that the description, the details of this to Yelena and Phantom sound like they were calling on powers of something from the void, and now that something from the void is taking advantage of that to try and come through. It may be either taking advantage of the power source or holding back the power source because it's celestial power that would hurt it. Or maybe it doesn't care and it's just keeping up a barrier around it because that's what the original spell was, but it's taking advantage of the fact that people were sacrificed to it and it's been able to eat more people to possibly bring itself into the physical world. Which is great. Yeah, that definitely seems like that's what's going on. Which I do feel like is very good information to actually give us some progress on the vow itself. But that does now raise the question of, okay, so what do we do about it? How do we stop it? Is killing it a good idea? We also whatever we do, how do we do it quickly enough? And that is a good question. Because well, Phantom and Yelena helped with some ghosts. It didn't go well. The ghosts left because they got to eat the main people that destroyed their settlement. So I can't say we've proven that Phantom and Yelena are good at killing powerful monsters or exercising powerful spirits. And this thing is probably definitely one of those too. I don't think just straight up going there and fighting it is a good idea. I think there needs to be steps taken to stop this thing from eating a bunch of people. Also, probably want to evacuate the Argosy. Hey, Sigil! Are you guys in a position to take in some people? Maybe? Or lend some starships? Because you guys work with starships, right? Yeah, you guys can probably like lend a ship or two to. There's not that many people on the Argosy. Um, you guys want to like evacuate some people over here, or maybe help them get to Kashiba or something? That seems like that might be a good idea. Hey, Kendra, can you get that? Can you get that? Can you set that up? That'd be great. That would be actually really good. So if we can get the people safe, that actually I haven't looked at Faye's art in a good long while. He looks good. But yeah, if we can get the people of the Argosy like off of there and safe, that would be great. I think an actual like full evacuation is necessary. There may not be, because it's probably not even out of their power entirely to have a full evacuation. Well, it depends on how many starships they have available, right? I don't think that they just have these things lying around for everybody. They probably have a couple. But not everybody's going out there into space, right? So and they don't necessarily have the resources to keep enough running for sure. So while it's not completely out of the means to have them evacuated through their own devices, I don't think the Evelyn especially maybe, have not considered that that's necessary as of yet. So sending some people over there to go be like, hey, you gotta leave. You can't stay here. I think that's a good idea. Um, Kendra, please get on that. You got folks that can help with that, right? And I think that means Phantom and Yelena and Faye and Lux. We got a nice little adventuring party here, don't we? Of two. What are we? Two blood hunters, a rogue, a weird rogue. What are you, Faye? Okay. Well, you guys can figure out how to actually handle the monster, the demon, whatever the hell the void creature is that's wanting to come through here. Now that being said, how long have I been going for? I don't think I've been going for like a full 2 hours, but yeah, I haven't even been going for a full 2 hours. However, I can already feel that my voice wants to start giving out on me. So I do think that this here is a good time to end off. There is planning that needs to be done. I have experience that I need to decide what to spend on for Faye. Um, and I need my voice to not die, especially since I have to work tomorrow, and that means that I have to talk. So I am going to go ahead and end things off here. I'll keep updates on if what we're doing for a break next week, because I do wanna continue things. I don't want to just end off here now before October. But I'll have schedule stuff posted on Twitter. So we are gonna go ahead and end things off from here. I thank you all for joining me. I apologize that this was a bit of a short one, but you know, like I said, my voice is gonna die on me, and we can't have that. So who can we go raid? Midori Rod is playing some Persona 5 Strikers, so let's go ahead and say hi to her. And if I can type, oh, I have a raid option over here, don't I? That I have added. Raid. Yeah, there we go. All right, everybody, have a good evening. Okay, that's a way more convenient. Well, maybe it depends on how well I can type. Have a good evening. Like I said, I'll keep updates posted on Twitter when I'm able to. Have a fun time. Thank y'all for stopping by. I will at the very least see you all for Spooky Month in October, if not anytime next week. Goodbye. Goodbye. Where's my ending? Goodbye.